All right, so today is July 1st. Second half of the year has begun. The market continues to slow down at a remarkable rate. This is Steve, Malone Realty Group at EXP, and it has been a remarkable rate as far as how much the market has changed. Now, sometimes we like to do what we call the 3-minute update, where it just get in and out, bada bing, bada bam, tell you everything that's going on in 3 minutes, because we got things to do. But if you're a nerd like me, I love the stats, because inside the numbers, that's where the story is. Okay, so you've got to peel away everything, and you got to get down to the nitty gritty. You got to look at the numbers, because that's where the story is. That's where the story about the real estate market is. Okay, so we like to do these videos around the first when we look at what happened last month. We get all the stats on the first. Now, keep in mind, some of these stats may change a little bit based on some closings that we've had in the last couple of days. Maybe all the information is not quite in yet, but this is going to give us a good idea of what's going on. Okay, now, some of the things that we're going to look at are the number of new listings, which is a pretty interesting story there. Talk about the months of inventory we have on market. Interesting story there. Price per square foot. There's a couple of numbers in there that when you look at, you say, all right, the market has definitely slowed down. It is definitely not the crazy market it was a couple months ago, but we keep trying to beat this drum. Okay, I want you to hear this. Okay, the market has slowed. What market are we in? It is a healthy market. We have a healthy number of homes on the market if you're looking to sell to get a good deal. You're not going to get 100 offers on your house anymore. Okay, that market is gone for now. Not sure when it comes back, if it comes back. If it does, it might be in the spring. But for now, they're not going to get 100 offers on your home. We're back to basics on selling your house. Okay, if you're looking to buy, a lot of buyers are frozen in the headlights because of the interest rates. Time to make a move. Let's rock and roll. Let's make a move. So here we go. I'm going to take a deep dive into the numbers, and then we'll wrap everything up. All right, so as promised, let's go ahead and let's get in there. Let's take a look at those stats of what we've seen over the last month, because it's very, very interesting. I'm going to move my big, gigantic head over here. Bam. So what we're going to see is with this, we're going to look at all the sales prices. We're going to look at month supply. We're going to look at days on market, all that stuff, because I want to show you with the stats what's going on in the market. And when we talk about the market shifting, what it means. Okay, so again, sometimes we like to real quick, get in, get out, give you a couple points, whatever. This is going to be a deep dive. So if you were nerdy like me and you like the stats, hang in with me, because this is going to be fun, because we're going to look at the stats. And maybe not fun if you're looking to sell, but I want you to see what's going on. Okay, so we get updates on the first of every month of what happened the previous month. This is for, as you see, the greater Atlanta area. Okay, home prices over the last couple of years, up, down, but the general trend has been up. And, it's up this month a little bit from where it was last month. Nothing exciting about that. Homes for sale, this is a very interesting graph. You see, the pandemic started about here-ish, March to April of 2020. We had 16,000 or so homes on the market, and you see that sellers basically said, I don't want anybody in my house. Buyers were enticed by crazy interest rates, so buyers were buying up anything that was on the market, and we've been holding in this low, below 10,000 threshold in the MLS, for a while. Hit the bottom back in January and February. We talked about sometime later on this year things are going to pick back up. Well, look how quickly things have picked up. We were at 8,000-ish back in May. Coming out of June, we have over 10,000. That's the highest number since you go all the way back to between October and November of 2020. So almost 2 years. And you see how sharply the number's coming up. I think it's going to be even higher than that as we head from the end of July into August, maybe even higher as we go into September, which is still, we were expecting a seasonal shift, but it's a little earlier than expected, a little more pronounced than expected. The interest rate's hitting 6%. There's really done a number on this market. So what does this mean? This number going up about 25% to 30% from last month. A lot more houses, and buyers are starting to pull back a little bit. Let's look at, this is a very interesting number, the number of closed sales. I'm going to look back, instead of doing monthly, I'm going to do rolling 6 months, because I want you to see a trend here. 35,671 closings in the last 6 months. Okay, so that's about 6,000 a month, right? Which averages, I can't do the math. Anyway, but that's what the number is, because if you look at monthly, you had a 5,000, a 6,000, a 6,000, 6,000. So when you add them all up over 6 months, this is the first half of the year, 35,671. But look at that number. That is the lowest number that we've seen, the lowest 6 month number that we've seen since you go all the way back to June of 2020. So it's been 2 years since we've seen that number. Okay, so this is the last 6 months have been a little slower than it has been as far as the number of closed sales. The sales are starting to slow down a little bit. If we were to open this up and let's look, maybe we'll hit max. This will go back for several years, and it's crunching the numbers right now. So you can see, even at 35,671, there was a time where you go back to 2020, it was 32, and then it goes up and down, very seasonal. Nothing crazy. So this number is not like exceptionally low to where we ring the bell and say, "Oh my goodness, the sky is falling." What it basically means is it's the lowest that we have seen. It's not like record territory or anything like that. The sky's not falling. But what it does mean is that the crazy market is now officially over. All right, so let's go back to the 3 years. Let's look at days on market. Days on market is still pretty low. I'm going to look at the monthly data. So back to monthly data. 6 days on market is the median average, down to 14 days on market. So things are still moving quick. But with the increase in the number of homes on the market, it's changing the month supply. Cumulative days on market is 16. That's down. So that still is interesting. But this is a number that really had me kind of raise my eyebrow. Kind of look like The Rock, and kind of go like that. Last month we were at 1.2 months of inventory, May into June. We're at 1.7 now, June into July. That's about 42% higher. So that's, again, we've talked about it all the time. If you stopped adding houses and we sold all the houses we have at the rate that we've been selling houses, how long would it take to get rid of everything? 1.7 months. That's still a very, very strong seller's market. But as you can see, we haven't been at 1.7 for a while since October of 2020. We were at 1.8. My guess is we're going to be close to 2, maybe even 2.2 once we get into July. And again, that's going to be like the highest we've seen in a couple years. So this crazy seller's market that we've had has come to an end. Percentage of list price, look at the average. It's come down a little bit. It's still 102.5%. So it's still pretty high. Okay, so it's not like home prices are going off the tracks or anything like that. Price per square foot on the average is flat, still sitting at 216. Not unusual there. It just means that we've slowed down. Shows to pending. This is another interesting stat. This kind of just gives you an idea of how many buyers are out there. When you have shows to pending like around 21, like we had back in March, what it means is there's a whole bunch of buyers and a lot of homes. Shows to pending now down to 12 means there's a whole lot less buyers. And there's also a whole lot more homes on the market. So the combination of the two, but really it's the lack of buyers that has driven this. And then shows per listing, same deal. They're way down from where they were in March. But when you look at this historically, like over the last 5 years, typically showings per listing, like before the pandemic, it was something in the neighborhood of 4, 5, 6, something like that. And then pandemic here, nobody was looking at houses. And all of a sudden, everybody said, let's go stand in line with all of our good friends and buy some real estate. You had 17 shows per listing. That's the average. Average listing got 17 showings, okay? Now it's back down to 9.5. And I can tell you from the data we've seen, listings that we've had or our partners have had, things like that, buyer traffic is definitely slowed down. So that's kind of a deep look at all the numbers. But to me, the biggest numbers on here is month supply. And I want to go back as far as it will let me. This goes back all the way to 2012. So keep in mind, we want to have kind of a macro vision of this. Okay, we don't want to look at the micro, because if we look at the micro, we could just look at the last 1 year and, it's not, see the number going way up and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, the market is like getting ready to unravel, things like that. But when you look at the last 10 years, look at this. You go back all the way to 2012, it was at 6. I would say anything under 5. 6 is like the magic number. I think 5 months is really where it starts transitioning into more of a balanced market. 4 is kind of like a weak seller's market. 3 is stronger. 2's like crazy, and 1's ridiculous. which is where we were. But you see, it's been since 2000. What was this? This was June of 2012. We were at 5. It's been a seller's market really ever since then. And even if this number coming back up to 1.7, look at how far we have to go before people start. People are already worried about, oh, is the market's getting ready to crash? Whatever. Market's not going to crash because that month supply number needs to get over 6. I mean, if this graph went back to 2009, 2008, 2007, you'd see 10 months, 11 months, 12 months of inventory. So you'd have a whole boatload of inventory, like crazy buyer's market. And even the homes were out there, buyers weren't buying them because they were very picky, things like that. That's when home prices went down. Okay. So the fact that we're all the way down here, even though it's starting to come up, that's a signal that this crazy market right here of the last 2 years it's come to an end. All right, that's over for now. Will it come back in March? I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out. But for now, it's come to an end. But we're way, way, way far away from everything completely unraveling. So month supply is very interesting. Homes for sale is very interesting, being at 10,611. Again, when you compare this to the max, go back to 2012, you see how low this really is. Because, I mean, we had, through 2014, 15, 16, the ebbs and flows, you'd have anywhere in the neighborhood of 20,000, 18,000, whatever at the peaks, 19,526. And then once the pandemic happened, now we've got 10. So, I mean, you got half the inventory where it was back here when it was still a pretty strong seller's market. Okay. And then when you talk about new listings are way up. 95, 97. That's the highest number we've seen since 95, 97. Never got that high last year. We haven't been that high since August of 2019. So think about that. That's been about 3 years. The highest number of listings that the Metro Atlanta area has had in 3 years, since August of 2019. Okay, we're adding a lot of houses and the buyers are walking away. So you combine those two things, you're going to have a stagnation of the market. This is not time to freak out, okay? Because if you're a buyer, even though the rates are crazy, it's a great time to buy because a lot of buyers are just frozen in the headlights. They're not moving. This is when we move, okay? Number one. Number two, if you're selling your house, it's still historically very low inventory, but we've got to get back to basics on selling our house as far as, again, I want to show you this, the price per square foot. Here, we won't do the max. We'll just do the last 3 years. We already looked at this. See how it steadily goes up? There are moments where it goes like way, way, way up, and then it just goes steady and way, way, way up, and then it goes steady and way, way, way up, and then it goes steady. When it goes steady, that means that the market's kind of calming. So you see in May it was 215, or April was 215, May was 216, June it was 216. It was 193 in January, 201, 207, 215. When you get the acceleration, that's when the market's going nuts, right? It's gone flat. That means the market's calming, okay? If it starts going down, then we got things to start talking about, all right? But it's not going down right now. It's just holding flat, okay? And again, that's a very high number. Home prices are going to continue going up with the amount of homes that we have in the market, things like that. So I wanted to do this deep dive real quick and look at the stats of what's really going on in the market, because we can give you the nuances and whatever, but really you have to peel away the onion. You got to peel away the orange or whatever you're peeling away to get inside, to take a look at the layers. We're looking at everything. That's what it looks like. All right, so there you go. That was your look inside the numbers. To show you that the market's still healthy, but it's definitely shifted a lot in the last couple of months. It's going to continue to do that for the next couple of months. I think we'll get a little bit more semblance of normalcy once we get in the end of August, beginning part of September, once we get past Labor Day. But it's going to be pretty interesting the next couple of months to see how the real estate market plays out. If you want to talk about it, if you're looking to buy, if you need to talk about the health of the market, this is a really good time to buy, because personally, I think it's a great time to buy. My wife and I are looking to pick up an Airbnb, a short-term rental right now, because we see that the opportunity is there because a lot of buyers are pulled out. We're gonna move in. If they're running from the burning building, I believe in the burning building. We're running in. They're gonna put the fire out. It's gonna be fine. I'm running into the burning building right now. So if you're looking to buy, let's talk about it. If you're looking to sell, again, it's not the same market it was, but we can get you taken care of and get you sold because of the lack of inventory, it can still get done. 470-233-4409. Let's talk about it. This is Steve, Malone Realty Group, EXP in Atlanta. Take care. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching the video today. If you want more information on what's going on in the real estate market, take a look at some of these videos over here that we've posted, keeping up with what buying, selling, things that are going on in the North Georgia market. But if you want to keep up with everything that we post to our YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel down there, bottom right. That way you won't miss out on anything.